Welcome back, everyone, to the next installment of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. We're so close. We've got to be approaching endgame now. We've got like a mystical rift just down that way. But before we go there, it appears that even though we've made the orb, machinery is blocking our way, so we gotta get on the machinery now. There's machinery. Seems simple enough. Well, yeah. Okay. Be right back. You think that's large enough? I threw a rock at it. It was a really big rock. That was a weird tune. But whatever, we've thrown a wrench into the works. Or a rock. Was that a sanity effect or not? I thought I heard the creature's moans. I don't need that. Oh! There's... well... I don't have very high hopes for this. He doesn't appear to be coming down. I can hide behind the pillar back there. I was gonna say, before I really got started with this installment, he was in this room before I attempted to go in here. When I went to the orb room and came back here, he was gone. I was wondering where he went, if anywhere. Is he still here? I hear thumping. Then again, that might be the game dicking me around with the soundtrack. Ah, he's patrolling. In that case, I'll throw this bad boy to distract him. I think he's actually going to where I'm supposed to go. That ain't good. He didn't hear that, did he? Hide behind this. Bad. I'm dead. I screwed up. I don't think I could escape this. You hear that? Yeah, I blew it. You have to carry on. Yeah. Oh well, moving on. That was anticlimactic because I know he'll be gone now. And if he's not, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Okay. Well, game, you fooled me. You totally fooled me. Is it me, or was he demoted to a regular grunt? I can't tell if his right arm is a blade or not. But I think just based on his lower body, he might have been demoted. Hey, and I think he's going the wrong way. This is good. See ya, buddy. Hopefully he didn't hear me. And hopefully I'm going the right way. I'm not entirely sure that I am. In fact, I think I'm not. The sight of her lifeless body crippled his psyche. He tried to remove himself from the scene, but he could not. Instead, he fell to his knees and begged her for forgiveness. Looks like I went the right way after all. I was kind of expecting that purple crackling electricity, but of course it's gone. I broke the machinery. You think I could get the orb back? That wouldn't make sense, would it? I'm curious. Alright. Guess that's not an option. We've finally done it. We hit the inner sanctum. Now where is Alexander? And what is happening? Ooh. Whoa. I died? I guess next time I'll use the laudanum? Alright, maybe this'll do it? Okay. I was hesitant to pull the lever because I figured bad things would happen, but I guess it cut off my pursuer? Seriously, what the hell? What is hurting me? What did that? I have Agrippa's head, don't mess with me. Oh, note first.
19th of August, 1839.
It's not fair. I'm not to blame. I've been manipulated by that demon. He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination. Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer. A monster.
And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on. I can hardly stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
Damn. So now it comes down to, do we want to kill Alexander because he's evil? Or do we want to kill Alexander because he's taking power we could have had? And hello. I'm sorry. Oh man, I was just curious. Oh god. Oh, my sanity's really bad. I just wanted to see what would happen. Oh, seriously, what is hurting me? Oh, my sanity got better. You think we could put Agrippa's head on that pedestal? I don't know. Okay, I'm thinking the game's glitching and not showing me where that stuff is. That's the only thing I can think of. Whatever. Now we got this. Another... Oh. Well, there's two of them. Huh. The only stuff I have in my inventory won't help. Ugh. What am I doing to myself? Okay, let's go back out. What am I missing? Oh, right. What have I done? What do you think I just did? No direction. There we go, I can see the corruption.
Shouldn't trust him.
More audio. Oh wow, the door I shut was broken down. Well, guess I'm going ahead into the inner sanctum. Oh jeez, I'm gonna hide behind the columns. Here goes nothing. All his life he had thought that he was a good man. Terrible deeds were only committed by terrible people, like Henry Bedloe, the bully in school. But now he had seen what he himself could do. Meanwhile, in a different game...
If you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain? Good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me or evil in Agrippa?
Interesting. Interesting question. Okay, what do I hit it with? Oh. No. What do I do with the pylon?
No, don't do that.
There we go.
I realize you doubt my intentions. Why would I take such extreme measures to save your life? Maybe I'm saving mine too.
Interesting. If only he hadn't made
You are ruining it.
all of his pylons
So
unstable.
close, I beg you. I'm just like you, Daniel. A prisoner of circumstance. Trapped in a world I no longer recognize.
Sorry, buddy.
As you gain your freedom, will you deny me mine? We are slowly fooled. You killed us. You killed us both.
Oh, jeez.
It was my greatest triumph, and I never looked back. You think I was afraid, fleeing Brennenburg? Huh. Quite the contrary. I knew it was my purgatory, hellfire made to wash away my sins. There's no denying the things I've done, but I have paid my tribute.
Oh, wow.
I gave them that awful man. I did the right thing.
The right thing would probably to sacrifice yourselves, too, really. I think this is supposed to be like a bittersweet ending. I don't think this is the good one, because I'm just running out. Oh, man. That was kind of intense. Oh, is this just like the Penumbra games? You could type that code into the folder and find pictures or whatever? Interesting. Huh. Well, after this, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and take a look at the other endings, huh?
Are you so blind that you see no good in me or evil in Agrippa?
Right. This game has 3 endings. I got the revenge ending, which is just screw Alexander, break this thing down. There are 2 other endings, the bad one and the good one. So I didn't even get the bad one, I just got the screw y'all. The bad one, I'm gonna let Alexander win. I'm just gonna let him charge up this portal and see what happens. I'm very curious. So all I have to do is wait. Actually, they are spinning more quickly. I think.
Do you see it?
Oh.
A whole other world. Oh, isn't it beautiful? I can finally return home.
Here it comes.
But you, I am solitary. You won't be able to enter. You are still tainted, branded by the shadow. It will consume you either way.
I'm gonna get screwed. So I'm just left here to die?
Please, let me go!
Oh boy. Ugh.
I'll never tell you!
Oh man. If it just goes to credits like that, that'd be amazing.
Thank you, my friend. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. You will be celebrated forever.
Ugh. Different music too. Different code too. Well, in that case, there's only one more ending to go for. The good ending. I think it's getting to be about that time.
Do you see it? A whole other world. Oh, is
I got other plans.
it is beautiful. I can finally return home.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, Alexander.
No, you fool! You have ruined us!
I'm not sure if there's anything to make of this. Wait, I can walk? Well, that changes everything.
There he is. Do you see him, Vaya? He deserves so much more. Please, help him. I know you can. Don't worry, Daniel. It will be all right.
Curious. So did Agrippa save me from another world? Did he like pull me in? Interesting. Well, well. That was rather open-ended, wasn't it? Certainly a lot to ruminate on about this game. Really got a kick out of it. Well, we did it. We beat Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and we got every ending. It was a little bit disappointing that the endings could be accessed immediately at the end, if you knew what to do. On the other hand, the good ending seems to have been missable. You had to go through those extra steps to save Agrippa, which I just happened to do. I didn't use a guide for that or anything. Not that it was the most obtuse level of puzzle difficulty, but still, it's kind of nice to know that I did not miss a missable thing. This game was really sweet. My personal favorite ending is probably the revenge one. The good one, you seem to transcend physicality, or at least perhaps Vader does. I'm not entirely sure if those sparkles at the end of the void were indicative of an exit to a new world where Vader was waiting, or if they were there. Like, he is no longer of this plane because he's found a better purpose or whatever. And even Agrippa seemed to be with us on that. I guess that's what happens when you don't die. Even as a head, he's still in good enough shape to talk to us. Impressive considering a lack of vocal cords. But I think the revenge ending was my favorite because you get rid of the shadow and you actually complete what you sought out to do. This may sound weird, but bear with me. Kill Alexander, make it happen, and you do, and you leave. I know you're kind of a worse person for it because you're just like, and that's really it. You don't address your dark past at all or anything like that. You're just kind of like, I did terrible things, but you suck more than I do, and you just attack Alexander. The bad ending is just brutal. You're stuck with the shadow and voices of people you've tormented. That's horrible. You know, speaking of that, there's kind of a fourth ending. I'm not going to show it to you because it's the same clip, like the exact same thing as the bad ending, so that's why I say kind of. It's the same ending as the bad ending, but it takes place in a different area. Remember when we were KO'd and we woke up in that jail cell, and the more I waited, the more corrupted the cell got, where I'm like, gotta get out of here. If I had waited 7 or 8 minutes for the thing to be completely corrupted, then the bad ending would just happen in that cell. Like, it gets completely full of the shadow pink goop, and we just die, and we're just like, oh no, and Alexander still thanks us for our death. So it's the bad ending a bit earlier in the game. Speaking of that jail cell, there were a couple of things that concerned me that ended up not mattering, fortunately for me. One of them, a bunch of people pointed out to me, the wooden crank. I was wondering when that would be used. This isn't quite the jail cell part yet, but I'm getting to it. Remember that one door that I cranked open, but it shut relatively quickly, so I stuffed boxes under it to prevent it from closing? That was the creative way out, I guess. If I had not done that, then I could have potentially been trapped on the other side, because if I had tried to crank open the door from the other side, the crank would have broken off. That's what my wooden crank would be for. I would replace the broken one with mine. And then the door works again, hooray! So it ends up that I did not need to use that after all. Now, there were a couple of other things that concerned me. I actually had checked a guide for how to escape the jail cell in a different way. Remember that iron bar I pulled out? I could have apparently pulled out the upper iron bar. Remember I tried jumping at that little hole in the upper part of the door and crouching through it, but I couldn't fit? That little bar was sticking in front of me? If I had pulled that bar off first, then perhaps the bottom one, the one I took, would have been the unbreakable one. Then I could have just slipped through the hole, no problem. Or I could have used the hammer and chisel to bust open the wall, where I instead used the iron bar. Not that that would have mattered either way, because I recovered the iron bar, but here's where things change. Remember that bucket of water I dropped down the well and it just got crunched and it was gone forever and I'm like, oh no? It turns out that it didn't matter. Remember when I had to get the key out of that broken pipe in the jail cell area? I used the iron bar, wedged it out, and then the bar was stuck forever? I could have used a bucket of water, poured it down the pipe, and flushed the key out. So it's multiple ways of solving the same puzzle. Really awesome. I love stuff like that. It's an adventure game with leniency. And it's not that horrible King's Quest V conundrum where you can feed the eagle with the meat or with the pie. Don't feed him the pie, because then you won't have a weapon to use against the monster later. Yes, seriously. And that just screws you through the game. No, with Amnesia, if you opt to take one way out of a puzzle, then good. you thought in a different way than some other player may have thought. Congratulations. So overall, I really, really enjoyed Amnesia. The lack of combat, well, not really the lack of combat. The lack of combat, I would say, enhanced the experience. The only thing that I would say detracted from it is the fact that if I ever don't want to deal with a monster, I could ironically walk right into a monster, have him kill me, and then he'll be gone when I come back. Once I discovered this, it felt almost like an exploit. Like, are you afraid of dying? Die. After that, it won't be a problem. Sounds weird, but there you go. Except for the very last monster in the game. That was a surprise, where he actually did still show up when I reloaded the game. You got me good, Amnesia. But otherwise, it did feel a bit like an exploit. But here's one thing that won't. We're not quite done with the Amnesia Let's Play yet. I beat the game, but there is one more thing to do. Just as my Silent Hill 2 Let's Play was not done until I did Maria's story after the main campaign with James, there was an official DLC released that actually did not come on my copy of the game. I got this thing about when it launched, so it's just Amnesia the Dark Descent. But fortunately, Frictional Games put it up for free should you own the game legitimately, so I can just go into it at the launcher. That's right, we're going to play the Justine DLC. We got one more thing to do, and this is going to be more difficult for reasons you will understand in the next installment. Until next time, everyone.